Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Gwyneth Paltrow. From Hollywood royalty to wellness trailblazer, Gwyneth Paltrow has spent more than 3 decades shaping pop culture. First as one of Hollywood's most refined talents and later as one of the wellness industry's most polarizing innovators. Elegant, ambitious, and never afraid of reinvention, she has become a figure who shifts easily between red carpets, boardrooms, and lifestyle think pieces. Early life and Hollywood breakthrough. Born on September 27, 1972, in Los Angeles, Paltrow grew up surrounded by the entertainment world. Her father, Bruce Paltrow, was a respected television producer, and her mother, Blythe Danner, is an acclaimed stage and screen actress. That creative atmosphere helped shape Paltrow's future path, and by her early 20s, she was already turning heads in Hollywood. Her breakout moment arrived with a string of critically noted performances in the mid-90s, but it was Shakespeare in Love, 1998, that catapulted her into global recognition. The role earned her an Academy Award for Best Actress, showcasing her range, charisma, and effortless screen presence. It remains one of her most iconic performances. A versatile film career, Paltrow has never been the type of actress to settle into one lane. She has played everything from romantic leads to emotionally complex dramatic roles to sharp comedic characters. In the 2000s, she reached a whole new generation of fans through her long-running role as Pepper Potts in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, appearing in hits like Iron Man, The Avengers, and Spider-Man: Homecoming. Her portrayal added warmth and grounded emotion to a franchise known for spectacle. The birth of Goop and a new identity. In 2008, Paltrow began a surprising new chapter by launching Goop. Initially a newsletter offering travel tips and wellness reflections, it soon transformed into a lifestyle powerhouse, blending editorial content with curated products, wellness advice, and collaborations. Goop has become both hugely influential and sometimes controversial. Supporters praise its embrace of holistic self-care, while critics argue that some of its recommendations lack scientific backing. Through it all, Paltrow has remained unapologetically committed to pushing the boundaries of wellness culture. Whether you love the brand or give it a side-eye, there's no denying that she disrupted an industry and built a global business from scratch. Author, entrepreneur, and cultural figure beyond acting and Goop, Paltrow has written several successful cookbooks and positioned herself as a tastemaker with a distinct point of view. Her influence extends across fashion, beauty, and wellness, and she often sparks conversations about modern living, aging, sexuality, and women's autonomy. In recent years, she has scaled back her acting work to focus more fully on entrepreneurship, but she still makes occasional on-screen appearances and remains a constant presence in interviews, brand events, and cultural discussions. Personal life and legacy. Paltrow's personal life has also drawn attention, from her early relationships to her marriage to Coldplay frontman Chris Martin, with whom she shares 2 children. Their highly publicized conscious uncoupling may have launched 1,000 memes, but it also helped redefine conversations around amicable divorce. She later married television writer-producer Brad Falchuk in 2018. Her legacy is multifaceted. She is an Oscar-winning actress, a business founder who rewired the modern wellness economy, and a cultural lightning rod whose ideas inspire both admiration and debate. Few figures of her generation have reinvented themselves as completely or as boldly. A continually evolving icon today, Gwyneth Paltrow stands as a reminder that celebrity can be both artistic and entrepreneurial, both glamorous and introspective. Whether you're drawn to her films, her lifestyle brand, or the conversations she sparks, Paltrow's path shows a woman unafraid to redefine success on her own terms. Gwyneth Paltrow, a Hollywood chameleon and the CEO who redefined wellness. Gwyneth Paltrow's career is a study in reinvention. She began as Hollywood's effortlessly elegant leading lady, transformed into a global blockbuster star, and eventually pivoted into one of the most recognizable and divisive names in modern wellness entrepreneurship. Her journey reflects both a classic Hollywood trajectory and an entirely new blueprint for celebrity influence in the 21st century. Roots in a creative dynasty. Paltrow's upbringing reads like a Hollywood fairy tale. Surrounded by writers, directors, and actors, she absorbed the rhythms of the entertainment world from an early age. Still, she didn't rely on her famous family to carry her forward. Her early acting roles showed a clear commitment to craft, from small projects to ambitious period pieces. Her fluency in multiple languages and her refined presence added a sophistication to her early roles, helping her stand out at a time when young Hollywood was overflowing with fresh talent. By the late 90s, she wasn't just promising. She was defining an era. The Oscar win that cemented her stardom in Shakespeare in Love, Paltrow delivered a performance that was light, witty, heartfelt, and commanding all at once. The film became a cultural moment, and her Oscar win confirmed her as one of the most formidable actresses of her generation. But she didn't let that success box her in. Instead, she explored varied genres, working with visionary directors and expanding her acting range. Stepping into the Marvel Universe when she joined Iron Man in 2008 as Pepper Potts. Many assumed it was simply a fun side role. No one could have predicted what the Marvel Cinematic Universe would become. As Tony Stark's grounding force, Paltrow brought emotional balance to a storyline driven by action and spectacle. Over the next decade, her appearances across the franchise helped define Pepper as one of Marvel's most beloved non-superpowered characters. She even donned a suit of her own in Avengers: Endgame, earning cheers from fans who had followed her arc for years. The Goop Revolution, reinventing modern wellness while Marvel was bringing her new waves of fans. Paltrow was quietly building something arguably even bigger. What began as a simple newsletter from her kitchen table quickly evolved into Goop, a multi-platform brand with retail stores, summits, documentaries, and a massive online presence. Goop tapped into a cultural shift. People were craving alternatives to traditional wellness and seeking experiences beyond one-size-fits-all health advice. Paltrow positioned Goop as a place for exploration, curiosity, and at times, extravagance. This boundary-pushing approach drew both enthusiasm and scrutiny. Critics challenged the scientific claims behind certain products or advice, but the brand's influence kept growing. Through it all, Paltrow remained calm, steady, and business-focused, treating every controversy as part of the cultural conversation rather than an obstacle. Love it or question it, Goop became a catalyst for the booming wellness economy. A businesswoman with vision. Paltrow's role as CEO isn't symbolic. She's deeply involved in shaping Goop's direction, voice, and product ecosystem. Under her leadership, Goop expanded into clean beauty, fashion collaborations, wellness supplements, homeware, and lifestyle products content production, including the Netflix series The Goop Lab Live Wellness Summits in major cities. This transition from actress to entrepreneur marked one of the most successful pivots in celebrity business history. Life beyond the spotlight. Despite her glamorous public image, Paltrow often speaks candidly about parenting, relationships, aging, and personal growth. Her co-parenting dynamic with Chris Martin has become an example of handling separation with grace and emotional maturity. She later found love again with Brad Falchuk, and the quiet steadiness of their relationship contrasts with her often loud presence in tabloids. She has also embraced a more intentional rhythm to life, focusing on balance, self-reflection, and family time. Rare for someone with her level of fame, she has learned to step back when needed and step forward when it matters most. Cultural impact and ongoing legacy. What sets Paltrow apart is her ability to spark conversation. Whether she's talking about wellness, relationships, cooking, or aging, people pay attention. She's become a touchstone for modern discussions about body autonomy, alternative health, and the evolving expectations placed on women in the public eye. Her filmography is secure, her business empire is thriving, and her cultural influence continues to ripple across media, wellness, and fashion. A woman who keeps evolving. Gwyneth Paltrow's journey isn't one of linear success. It's a story of shifts, risks, curiosity, and bold reinvention. She embodies a modern kind of celebrity. One who moves between art and entrepreneurship, between glamour and introspection, between tradition and disruption. If history is any indication, she's far from done transforming. And whatever her next chapter holds, you can bet the world will be watching. Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress, the alchemist, and the architect of a new wellness culture. Gwyneth Paltrow's story is bigger than the sum of her film credits or the headlines that trail her name. She's become one of those rare public figures whose life reads like a series of distinct eras, each shaped by curiosity and a willingness to leap into the unknown. Whether she's stepping into armor in a Marvel blockbuster, debating wellness trends on talk shows, or cooking simple meals in her sunlit kitchen, she's built a persona rooted in both glamour and vulnerability. Below is a deeper dive into the influences, turning points, and philosophies that have made Paltrow a defining cultural figure of her generation. A childhood surrounded by storytelling, growing up in Los Angeles but spending long amounts of time on the East Coast, Paltrow straddled two worlds: Hollywood's creative machinery and New York's artistic seriousness. This duality shaped her early sensibilities. Her father, Bruce Paltrow, wasn't just a guiding force in her career. He was her emotional anchor. His emphasis on work ethic and authenticity helped her navigate fame with a grounded perspective. His passing in 2002 deeply affected her, and she often credits him with influencing her focus on health, emotional wellness, and intentional living. Her mother, Blythe Danner, provided a blueprint for what a long, respected acting career could look like. Danner's elegance and understated power became hallmarks that people would later recognize in Gwyneth's own performances. The 1990s. When Gwyneth became Hollywood's golden girl before social media, there were a handful of actresses who defined the essence of cool, and Paltrow was one of them. She was effortlessly stylish, photographed everywhere, and starred in films that captured the aesthetics of the decade: romantic dramas, psychological thrillers, and clever comedies. Her roles in films like Seven, Emma, and Sliding Doors showcased a mix of intelligence, vulnerability, and emotional restraint. She had a talent for choosing scripts that weren't only entertaining, but also slightly offbeat, stories that nudged audiences to think. By the time Shakespeare in Love arrived, she had already established herself. The Oscar win simply confirmed what critics had been saying for years: she had the range and the control of a seasoned performer far older than her age. Early 2000s. Reinvention, reflection, and a shift in priorities following the intense spotlight of her Oscar years. Paltrow pulled back. She gravitated toward smaller films, travel, cooking, and introspection. Her travels in Spain, London, and across Europe fueled a growing interest in wellness, food, and slow living. This period also saw milestones in her personal life, particularly her marriage to Chris Martin and the births of their children, Apple and Moses. Motherhood reshaped her priorities and, in many ways, set the stage for what would eventually evolve into Goop. Marvel era. A surprising second act. Paltrow's return to big-budget filmmaking through Iron Man was unexpected, even to her fans. But the chemistry she shared with Robert Downey Jr. gave Pepper Potts a life beyond being a supporting character. Over nearly a decade, she became central to Tony Stark's emotional arc. Fans appreciated that she never played Pepper as helpless or one-dimensional. Instead, she brought intelligence, wit, and tenderness, making her one of the most consistently grounded characters in the entire MCU. The rise of Goop, a cultural fault line. What makes Goop so fascinating isn't just the products or the aesthetic. It's the way the brand taps into the modern longing for control in a chaotic world. People want answers, people want rituals, people want ways to feel better, look better, and understand themselves. Paltrow sensed this before most lifestyle startups did. Goop built an empire around exploration, self-care, and alternative approaches to well-being. The brand's critics argue that some of its ideas stretch beyond mainstream science. Its supporters argue that wellness should be inquisitive, individualized, and open-ended. Either way, you can't deny impact. Goop changed consumer behavior. It changed how brands talk about wellness. It made clean beauty a global conversation rather than a niche interest. Leadership style. Vision over noise.
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.